Hey everyone, I'm just getting the stream posted up, linked up, sent out everywhere, and then I will be back. Bear with me a few minutes, guys. Sorry we don't have the stream intros set up yet, but I won't be long. Thanks, you guys. Hey everyone, I'm just getting the stream posted up, linked up, sent out. All right, I am here. Sorry about that, everyone. Got to get the stream intro done, but we've just been so busy getting ready for Daytona. Really haven't had time for anything else besides streaming and prepping. So let's get to it. So today's stream is going to be a little different. We're going to be talking about how best to configure iRacing for the best experience out of the sim. A lot of these tips, maybe you'll know, maybe you won't know, but this is mostly geared towards people who are just getting into iRacing. But some of these tips are advanced that not many people do know and are very important because it will give you the best experience in the game and best ability to judge your distance, avoid wrecks, get the best time by judging corner distance from you, apex, all of that. So a lot of this is very important, and we're going to be touching on all of it today. So thank you guys for tuning in. First off, we're going to start with the simple stuff, and that is going to be right here, right in the main client before we even go into the sim. Okay, so first of all, when you get into the game, I prefer mine on grid view. That way you get it to look like this. Normally you're going to have a lot of series that you can see. As you can see, I've unticked my favorites. So this has now allowed us to see all the different series that are up. So there's lots, right? So once you start to hone in on what you enjoy doing, favorite them. How you favorite them is you click on the little star right here. Pretty simple. That will help you focus on the series you enjoy and not get smooth brain distracted by ones that cost you iRating. So that's a simple thing you can do right there just to get a more streamlined experience as to what's available and what you're going to enjoy doing. So that's first. Secondly, we want to configure our connection to the sim internet-wise, which is done in settings here. So we're going to go to network, and right here is you're going to want to use IPv6. This is going to want to be ticked on. Connection speed, you're going to want to set it to whatever you got. Content delivery network, I leave on no preference. So that's all there is there. And then once you've got that, you're going to give yourself the best ability to have a stable connection to the sim. I highly recommend everyone run a hardline connection. Do not do this on Wi-Fi. Do not sim race on Wi-Fi. Do not game on Wi-Fi. If you can get yourself an internet connection and you have a router in your house, you can get yourself an Ethernet cable. They're not expensive. So next, let's go into the sim. So this is another important thing. So the AI is pretty decent in this game. They give you some decent little beginner series you can race against the AI here, and I highly recommend starting that way. Once you want to start racing other things, you can pretty much load in AI on any series you want to do. So let's just do that, and then we can walk through the rest of the things we're going to need to configure. So let's say I'm pretty quick on Daytona, but I want to practice in traffic. I want to practice for the race. So what am I going to do? I'm going to click Race Against AI here. It's going to bring up a thing where we now have a certain amount of practice time. We can set how many qualifiers we want, if it's going to be on laps or time, and then the amount of race. And now it's structured it exactly like the IMSA race would be against real people. So we're going to go ahead and select the car we're going to be using, which is the Porsche. And then once we get into the sim, we can start covering force feedback, all of the setup to do with controls, everything like that. So right here, I highly recommend using adaptive AI. It's really, really good. It will help you learn quickly. I would say it's way more organic feeling than racing against the AI with a fixed difficulty, in my opinion anyways. It's going to give you a much more competitive experience that's going to kind of go along with your development of skill. So I usually race with it on high if I'm on a track that I know. If I'm getting better and not quite at pace, I'll use medium, and they will slowly push you to get better and better and better. So let's go ahead. We'll put it on high. We'll go right in at the highest level. I haven't even tried this on Daytona yet in a hypercar against AI, so this will be fun. So now let's go into the sim, and we'll start talking about how to configure the force feedback, the controls, all that kind of important stuff. So you can see the adaptive AI here is all different skill level. Okay, so then each AI will have, it's really cool. Like it will give you an idea of where exactly they are good, where they're bad, their age. This guy's only 16 years old. That's a little terrifying. There you go. But anyways, they even programmed little dudes into their AI. Didn't know that. So fun fact, we're just learning new stuff here today. AI has little dude effect. So that's cool. You know, they're trying to keep it real so you can learn. And I appreciate that. The inclusion of little dudes is pretty cool. That's going to a whole other level. So good on you for iRacing, thinking of that. And thank you to the 5 people tuned in on YouTube. Thank you to the 230 views we've got on X. You guys are amazing. We really appreciate it. Even though this is just a simple kind of stream helping people figure out the sim, how to set it up the best way, you guys are still coming out for it, and I appreciate it. We're just trying to help everyone have a better experience within sim racing. It's something I'm passionate about, and this is kind of how I am if I'm passionate about something. So once we get in here, we're going to touch on how to set up our field of view, how to set up our force feedback, our pedals, what controls are important in the map, and how to properly configure our HUD to best gauge information from it. So a lot of these things I didn't figure out until we met some people that we used to race in leagues with who were professional racers and used iRacing on the side. So a lot of these tips I've picked up from them. Otherwise, or I still wouldn't know. I still wouldn't know a lot of this stuff. So let's go ahead and start touching on what we need to do here. So once you get into the sim for the first time, you're going to want to go to your settings. And when you come into this, it's going to want you to calibrate your wheel. So when you calibrate your wheel, it's going to want you to rotate your wheel all the way around back, and then it's going to ask you to put your wheel at 90 degrees. What that means is like this. Like up and down. That's your wheel at 90 degrees, okay? So do your wheel lock calibrate, do your pedal calibrate, all of that. So when you calibrate your brakes, it's very, very important that you tick this on if you're using load cell pedals, or they're not going to feel right. This is very important here. So we go down a little further now. Now we're looking at our driving aids. We don't want very many driving aids on, if at all. If you're just starting out, you can use the driving line, but I highly recommend not using it. And obviously turn off brake and throttle assist right away so you don't develop bad habits. Now this is shift aid. If you're not using a clutch, this is fine to use. Some cars will use auto blip, others will want to use auto clutch. So you need to experiment with that depending on the cars you're driving. So now we're going to talk about field of view and all of that kind of stuff, okay? So we don't want to dial it in through this. Ignore this. Ignore all this right here. So once we've calibrated our wheel, our pedals, our controls, it'll ask us to map our shift up, shift down, all of that. So next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to display. So once you go to display here, this is how we're going to get our field of view dialed in perfectly. Now, before we go any further, you have to understand field of view is vastly different from seat position in the car. Now, some people confuse these two things, and it's important that you don't, because having the proper field of view is going to guarantee that you have the ability to judge corner distance, how far away cars are from you, all of that. And that is incredibly important when you're driving close and needing to gauge braking zones, how far cars away are before they're going to hit you, all of that. So what we want to do is we're going to come down to here, monitor. I prefer to do this in inches because it's just easier for me that way. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to input your monitor width. So for me is a 43-inch monitor, flat screen, and then the bezel width, right? So once I've done that, then I'm going to want to calculate how far away I am from my screen. And you want to use a tape measure for this. It's important you get this accurate. Then you're going to click compute once you've input these numbers. Then you're going to click compute. Once you click compute, it's going to give you the exact field of view you need for your seat position. Now, your field of view is your reference point, your distance management, your ability to judge distance. And if your field of view is off, all of that will be off. So it's important to compute this and not just guess or do it in that other mode. So now let's say you've got this dialed in, okay? We'll come back to controls. We're going to focus on field of view and proper car position right now. So let's say you've got all your monitor stuff dialed in and it's giving you your field of view. Okay? So let's restart the session here so we don't just go through the session. So now we've done all that. Now what we want to do is we want to load into the pit. So now we've loaded into the pit, okay? So what we want to do is we're going to idle here for a bit, just long enough for the replay to pick it up that we're sitting in the pit lane here. So you don't need to wait like too long. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to now access the replay of us in the cockpit here. This may sound stupid. I know it is. Trust me. So now we're going to want to select the cockpit view. See, did you see what we did there? We held escape to back out, and now we're in replay mode in cockpit view. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to hit Control F12. Okay? It's going to bring up this camera HUD right here. Now, if you can see my position, it says -12 because I've already done this. But now let's put it back to 0. So this is where I would be if I didn't adjust my camera. Now, I'm a lot more far forward than I would like, and I can't see anything out my left window for peak at all. And that little bit of peek out your left window is going to really help judge your apexes on a single screen and also see a little bit of the cars beside you. So let's just say we input that field of view and that doesn't feel good. We don't want to go into our black box and adjust our field of view, driving field of view. We don't want to go back into the menu and adjust our field of view anywhere. That's going to screw up our judgment of corners and distance to cars. What we want to do is go into this camera HUD by going into replay mode in cockpit. This first position marker here is going to move your seat forward and back. Now, see, I still have a 68 FOV, but I can move within that FOV. And now I've got the ability to peek out the side here. And now I'm not going to be misjudging distance because I haven't slid the FOV slider to get this peak, I've moved my seat position relative in camera mode. So then I will save that as car cam, overwrite. This is really important to do for every car because sometimes at 68 field of view, other cars, you're going to be like right up on the freaking hood of the thing. Well, that won't work. And then some people might do this. Like say you get in the car and you have your black box. I'll show you how to set your black box later. But it gives you this ability. Like some people don't know how to set it through camera control. So then they're like, let's say we can't see out that window, right? And these people are like, oh, they don't know the camera controls. So they're just going to extend their field of view like way back. Ours was 68 anyways. But what that will do is it's going to offset your ability to judge distance. And that is why a lot of people will have incidents without even trying to have an incident. And they can't figure out why. So a lot of your distance management and ability to judge spatial relations comes down to having the right field of view. And using your seat position in camera mode to move yourself back and forward, not field of view. Okay? So now let's go on to the next point. So our next point is going to be touching on force feedback. So for force feedback, let me see here. Where is it? Where is it? Force feedback. There it is. Wheel force feedback. Okay. So what we're going to want to do here is, if you can see down at the bottom, it says all cars. So you want to set your force feedback and your field of view on a car by car basis. So we want to select this car only before we start playing with any of these things, right? So you never want to have any smoothing. You never want to have any dampening. You want to have your intensity at full, and then your strength slider here is going to be what you use to adjust the power of your force feedback. Now, I'll show you how to dial that in properly in a second here. Down here is where we get the ability to play with some of the more low frequency things and feelings through the car. I like to have a lot more road texture on mine. Everything else I pretty much leave. I get rid of rev limiter, or when you're coming out of the pits, the wheels just like brah, brah, brah. It's so annoying. You can slide these things down. It's not a big deal. And then once you've got your force feedback set for this car, then you can apply and close. You're good. That car will have that force feedback. Now let's go to key bindings. Here is an important part with key bindings. So we can have it where we only show controls for this car. But when you first start iRacing, you're going to want to do it in a generic sense. So we leave this off for now. So we're not going to touch any of this stuff because this is car by car kind of stuff that we want to set for every specific car. And then we're going to tick that when we do. One of the generic things you're going to want for every car is you're going to want to set your pit speed limiter. You're going to want to set your headlight flash. And then you're going to want to go down here. You're going to want to set your windshield wipers. And now you're going to want to go down to black box here. So black box is going to be where we interact with our ability to select tires, our ability to select if we want fuel or not, where we can see relative, all that stuff. So this is very important. So you want to map your next and previous black box buttons. I have mine as my top two arrows on my Moza KS wheel. So then we're going to go down and we're going to set our select next control and select previous control. This is to go up and down in the black box. And then increment select and decrement select is to increase or decrease. So you want to set all of this. Okay. So once you've got all of that kind of stuff set, now we can start, when we load in, to set specific things for specific cars. And all you have to do that is to click this, and then it will show you exactly what your car has, and you can change that other cars won't have, because this is a hypercar, of course. So that's all of the basic stuff there. So now let's go in. Let's restart the session here. Oops. So now let's say you've got your wheel configured, you've got your force feedback configured, you've understood now how to set your field of view properly, and now we've got our control set to cycle through our black box. So now when we can cycle through our black box, it's going to start on this little screen right here. So now we can push this and go through our black box. So this is going to be overall standings. This is going to be relative of all the cars that are close to you. Yellow, hypercar. Blue is LMP2. Red is GT. So this is going to be your fuel. On the lower series, you have the ability to use fast repairs. I believe Rookie and D have this. So always make sure you have this ticked on at the beginning of racing Rookie. This is where we can change if we want tires on pit or not. Now, here comes the next important part. We go to graphic adjustment. Now, when you get iRacing, your mirror field of view is going to be something like 80 or 90, I believe. Now, what did we just talk about with distance management? This is one of the most important tips you need to know if you want to have a good experience and not get run through by people and not understand why the hell you're getting run through. So for some reason, iRacing in its infinite wisdom sets the FOV for their mirror at like 90 or 80, okay? So this is wildly off any freaking FOV that is going to be anywhere reasonably beneficial to you. So I don't know why they do this, if this is some old leftover thing that hasn't been fixed, but it don't help. So what you want to do is adjust your virtual FOV on your mirror to the same as your driving FOV. Why? Because this is going to allow you to accurately judge the distance between you and the cars around you, especially the ones behind you, which is very important, because if this isn't set properly and your virtual mirror field of view is way off, like at 90, you're going to get run into fucking really badly by cars from behind, and you're going to have no idea why. So this is really important. Field of view, super freaking important. So the only thing you can really adjust, you don't ever want to mess with your field of view in this graphics adjustment, but what you can mess with is things like this. Your driver height, you can play with that. It's not going to affect your field of view. And a distance management, you can adjust the angle and pitch. That's going to be okay. So now, one of the last things we need to do, now that we've worked our way into the car and we've prepared everything up to this point, now we need to organize our HUD. So to organize our HUD, we're going to want to hold Alt-K. Now, when we hit Alt-K, it's going to bring everything up like this. So what we want to do is, when we're editing, we want to click this, Show All Widgets. So some of these I've already moved mine. Some of these will be showing up way down here so you can't see them, or they'll be showing up in the middle of your screen, stuff like that, right? So essentially what you want to do is move everything to the specific spot where you want it. And then you can tick this on before you move it. And then tick this on as well. And it's going to give you custom positions for all of these notifications. And you may be able to just set it once and it'll work for every car. But I find essentially your driver input, like where your wheel and your speed and your gears are, if you don't have like a screen on your wheel or a dash display, it's good to put this at the base of your wheelbase, and sometimes that's out of the way, and you need to move it kind of uniquely for every car. Other than that, once you have that done, Alt-K, and you're good. So that's all there is to setting up iRacing most of the way. Now, one of the final things we're going to touch on is graphical settings to get the best, most competitive FPS out of the game. So graphics, a lot of the ones that are going to hit you very hard in this game and things to avoid, you don't want to be using fixed or dynamic cube maps. They're just broken. Don't even bother with them. Distortion and heat days, you don't need really at all, unless you're wanting to sag the crap out of your FPS, even on a really powerful machine like this. Number of lights will really improve the look of the game in replay and while you're racing. You don't want to go too heavy on this. If you're struggling with FPS, you can cut most of this stuff down to medium or off and you will not notice it. The game's very good like that and scalable. One of the things that doesn't really affect this game is the resolution. Now, resolution is not that big of a deal for FPS in iRacing. For whatever reason, it's good like that. So most of your graphic down performance is going to come from ones that, like, if you look over on the right, you'll see, where are they? High CPU usage, things like that, right? Like, you want to be careful with that if your computer can't handle it. Because the most important thing of iRacing is having a good connection and a smooth experience to be able to properly race. So what I will show you now is I'm going to have to turn off my pedal cam because I want to show you guys how to make sure your force feedback is set up properly and is not too strong or clipping. So what we need to do for this is kind of being hidden behind my pedal cam. So give me 1 second and let me get this pedal cam turned off here. Okay, so if you guys look, you can see here where my FPS counter is. So we have the first one, which is latency. Second one, which is going to be the quality of your connection. And the third one, while we're just sitting, it is, I don't know what the hell that one is. So when we go into the race, that changes. And the bottom one then switches to F. So now this bottom one is representing our force feedback, okay? Now, when I'm driving, I want you guys to watch that force feedback bar, okay? So now I've got my pit limiter button set. I hit my pit limiter. Now, do you guys see the green force feedback bar moving? So at no point do we want that green force feedback bar to go red. No matter how hard the corner we're taking, no matter how hard the curb hit, we never want that to go red. Because that means our force feedback is clipping, it's bad for your base, and it's going to distort the signal you're getting and make it very unclear as to the feeling you're supposed to be getting from the wheel. It'll just numb everything. So you want to basically have it be an extending out as far as possible in the green. Yellow is okay, but you never want it to be going red. So that's pretty much it for setting all of that up in terms of your seat position, your force feedback, your controls, your graphics, all of that. So we've pretty much touched on everything there. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and see what kind of races we got going. If you guys have any other questions outside of what we've just covered, please feel free to ask. Because that's what this episode is about today. I'm trying to help a lot of new guys on my team understand the best way to enjoy iRacing and get the best from the experience. So now that we've walked all through that, let's actually put it to work and get in a race. So this weekend, we got the Daytona 24-hour coming up. It's a big event. It's one of the biggest sim racing endurance events of the year, kicking off the year with a bang. Very excited for it. We would have won the 6-hour version of it if we didn't get intentionally wrecked. We almost won the last 24-hour, and this year we're coming to claim the crown. So we got a race opening up in 25 minutes. I believe that is the IMSA is fixed. Yes, it is. So let's go ahead and hop into that. So to get in a race, you're going to want to register when you see your selection of cars. I guess I can touch on this. So that's going to register you into the race right away that's available next. This is going to be the timer as to how long until the race. One thing I like to do is I go to standings, and you can figure out your kind of what you should be, or not standings, results, sorry. You go to results, and it's going to give you all the different splits. You can go into these results and see the lap times people are doing. And you want to kind of look for, like, what I do is I aim at the top split lap and then go for that and try to get as close or right on it as possible. And that kind of gives you an idea as to what pace you should be at for every track you're doing. It's kind of a helpful technique and tool that I use. So we'll talk about some tips, how to gain the most safety rating here, and just generic driving tips, how to avoid idiots, the kind of mentality and strategy I use to work into a race. And hopefully these things help anyone watching or anyone tuning in later after this is done, because I think a lot of people who struggle in iRacing that are genuinely trying but struggling. I think a lot of this just isn't very clear. So hopefully setting it up properly will give you guys a better experience and ability to compete. The other thing, if you guys are using like Moza or Fanatec software or any other software that allows you to play with like, oh, this thing's loose, that allows you to play with like your wheel lock range, you generally want to leave it at in iRacing. I leave mine at 900, and then I will use my software like to either knock it down to like 720 or 540, whatever a car likes. But don't be afraid to play with your software side wheel lock, because it's going to really help on certain cars. Like I find generic sports cars really don't mind like a 900, but anything more like a GT or a hypercar or LMP2, it's in that 540 to 720 range, and it really matters to have that properly set. Thank you to the 550 people tuning in. You guys are awesome. 3 tuned in on YouTube. Thank you guys so much. Okay. So we got quite a bit of time before the race starts. Now, this is a fixed setup race, which means we can't load our setup in. Everyone's going to be on the same setup. So you can go into results and you can sort into different classes, see what people are running out on the grid right now, get an idea of who's out there, what times they're doing. All right, let's get out there and do some practice. What's up, Jeremy? We iRacing, baby. We're getting ready for the Daytona 24-hour this weekend, man. Make sure you get your Adderall ready, your Coke and your chips and your pop, your ciggies and whatever you need, man. It's going to be a good weekend. We're going for the win, baby. So let's go over some generic braking tips and advice on how to do advanced braking. Well, I guess it's not advanced. These are tips for anyone, really. So when it comes to braking, even in a GT car that has ABS, try to extend your braking in the gear that you are currently in. Because as you're slowing the car, if you're gearing down while you're braking, you may enter into an RPM range that is way too high for the current gear you're in, and your rear axle just locks. So it's very important to do a large percentage of the braking in the current gear that you are in. And if you do this, you guys will be shocked. Like, watch. Look how hard I can stuff that. If I just stay in the current gear that I'm in before I gear down. I get the RPM range down. Then I gear down. Hell yeah, dude. Let's go, bro. What's up, brother? Make sure you watch back, Danny. We covered a lot of really important stuff already. All the really important setup stuff we've gone over, so watch it back. I went over almost everything I could think of. If you have any questions, please ask. That's what this episode is for. I want to help as much as I can. Look, just stuff the brakes before I gear down. Now, if I had done that and just started rapidly gearing down, that's where I'm going to have problems with lockup. Now, this is how you also do those kinds of moves that you will see me and Phil do, where we drop the car in between two cars, and it's like there's maybe like 2 feet between the front and the back of each car. And the way you do that is you use your brakes to do the majority of the slowdown. Your gears are your finesse. See, like, I can just wham it down. Go down to third for a bit of rotation there. Do gear flicks. Gear flicks are very good in any car you're driving. Hypercar, prototype, GT, anything. Miata, fucking GR. You don't have to come out of the corner in the gear you flick into. But say if I flick down from second to first, going into first will give me that little extra rotation off throttle. And then I punch it back into second before I come on the gas. So there's a lot of technique you can use within the gears to help you. Now look, see, I get that rotation back into third on the throttle. And I can come out on full throttle. Now, when you go to make moves around cars, since we almost had that incident, don't ever just lunge. Show the guy where you're going to go. Communicate with your car. Even if it's only a fraction of a second, try to show them where you're going to go. As you're turning, look into your apex, even if you're on a single screen monitor. Now, that braking technique will benefit you in anything that does not have ABS and ABS cars. But it's how people brake very good in non-ABS vehicles. So next we're going to talk about opening up the wheel.
Left side. Clear on the left.
So let's get to a corner here in the midfield where we can demonstrate it. Always give a flash when you're coming up and then a flash when you're going by so that you know they see you. See, I can use my gears to make sure I'm around that guy. Get into the gear that I need to be in, get by him. I don't need to essentially floor it by him to pass him. I can brake and still go by him because he's probably braking and gearing down. I can just slow myself a little bit and I'll go past him. Where a lot of other people feel like they got to stay on throttle and lunge by a car. This is where knowing what every other car in the race is doing will really help you. So if you're doing mixed class, race a GT in mixed class event, race an LMP2 in a mixed class event. All that kind of stuff is going to help you understand better what those cars are doing. And then when you're in your actual class you race, you will understand it so much more and be able to work around them better because of it. So because I was talking, I didn't really touch on opening up the wheel, but we're going to do that next. So because we're in a fixed series, we can't really go over ARB or anything like that right now. So I find in Hypercar, LMP2, they really like to short shift. Don't ever bang it off the rev limiter too much. You want to try to get into the next gear as quickly as possible so you're not limiting that climb in speed. Okay, so now when we get to the infield, we're going to talk about opening up the wheel. So here I'm going to stay on the brake until I need to start gearing down. If I gear down and brake at the same time, we're going to overslow the car and lose time. So that guy's going to give us the room. So if I stay turning here while I stay on the throttle, the car is going to spin. So as I'm coming out of the corner, I'm incrementally opening up the wheel and flicking it open so that I'm not spinning. So you don't ever want to just stay on the turn. Get the turn done and then start opening up the wheel. I'm trying to demonstrate it. where some people just stay committed on the wheel without thinking about it. And these little things, these little mental tricks really help you once you break these habits. So just for shits and giggles here, let's just go straight in 7th gear. And we'll stomp the brakes as hard as we can. And we'll see if we lock. No one's behind us, so we don't fuck them.
36.8.
Now I only locked right at the end there and pretty much brought the car to a halt from top speed. And that's what I mean. There's someone coming behind us here. Let's let him go. And that's what I mean. You don't want to be panicking and gearing down while you're braking. That's going to cause havoc. And it's why a lot of people crash. Sometimes you want to just gear down like that, just enough to get you into the corner and through the corner. No more than just what is needed. Anything more is over-slowing the car. Now, when we get into the race, we're going to start talking about how we look at the cars around us and how to judge when and where to make a move, what a driver may be like, may not be like. See, when a car is spinning out like that, generally you want to go around the back end. But that rule is not always certain. See, I'm not going to lunge by this guy. I'm going to make sure he sees me. I'm going to flash and I'm going to go. You always want to give the person time to see you. Drive for the other drivers. Just like if you're on the road. Don't expect everyone else to do the right thing.
Car stopped ahead. You got a slow car on the left. Car on your left. Clear on the left.
Okay, let's try to put out a decent lap here. Start getting ready for the race. Then when we get in the race, we'll start talking about the psychological things you can do to spot ahead and see where moves could be or where accidents are going to happen.
1.709.
See, just slow yourself enough to get through the corner. Any more, you're over-slowing and losing time. I don't need to gear down yet. Now I do. Maybe just do one gear in a high-speed section like that to kind of grab the gears and slow you a bit. Then start going down in succession as you get closer to the corner. It's all just about finesse with your gearing. Your brakes are to slow the car. Your gears are just to finesse.
Car 19, just set the fastest lap. 33.948.
But yeah, anyone who's just tuning in, make sure you watch back the stream. We've covered field of view, how to set up your seat position, not your field of view. We've covered how to set up your force feedback, how to adjust your field of view for your specific seating distance and monitor, how to set your mirror field of view properly so you can judge the car distance behind you properly and not get run into all the time. We've covered a lot of stuff that is very important to laying the groundwork to having a strong experience in competitive time. See, we do the gear flick into first, lines us up better out of the corner. We don't come out in first, we use it to rotate. See how I opened up the wheel there, stayed on the throttle, we didn't spin. And all of this, it just takes practice, but the more you understand it and the more you can drill it and drill the right things is how you will get better. And I will start helping you guys understand how to drill the right psychological stuff to get in the right mindset as the race starts. And we're going to cover that as soon as this race begins here.
Just set your fastest lap of the session.
Now, I'm not going to fly by this guy here. I'm going to let him know I'm here, and I'm going to show him where I'm going to go, and then I'm going to go for it. Now, he's going to try to give me room, and I'm going to go around him. It's about communicating with the cars around you. Now, not everyone is going to do that, so always be ready to be the person to make the move work. The GT is supposed to stay in its position while you go around it. But sometimes not everyone knows that, and not everyone does that. So you always have to drive for everyone else. The moment you start doing that and you start trusting other drivers is when you will have problems. Now, I'm already looking at this situation, and I know the bus stop is coming up. And I know I can get around this guy before the bus stop. So I'm going to give him a flash. I'm going to go point my car in the upside, and I'm going to drift out so he can see I'm leading him, so he knows what direction I'm going. Same with this guy. We're going to flash him from a little far away so he knows where we are. And now we're going to speak to him with our car so he can see where we're going.
Clear on the left.
So we're sitting in 5th with a 35.2, which isn't the best lap, but we're just kind of trying to teach more so than just rip right now.
35.973.
So one thing I want to go over here. Let me get off the track here. Now, this is probably the most important part that I have not covered yet. Audio. Voice chat. Voice chat audio. Off. Turn this shit off. It will drive you mad listening to these people. And another reason why I say turn it off is because you don't want to humanize the people on the track. You want to think they're AI. You don't want to know their people. You want to be able to race them hard as fuck and not hear their voices. You don't want to know there's a person behind that car. The more you can think of it as just an AI or just a nobody, the harder you're going to drive. The anticipation of hearing someone upset or yell at you, you don't want that. Turn it off, black it out, and don't even think there's other people out there. Obviously, there's cars out there that you don't want to hit and you don't want to get into wrecks with, but you don't want to think that there's people behind them. And trust me, this is an important mental aspect of being able to race very hard. You don't want to have to worry about hearing some little kid come over comms and be like, hey, you fucking cut me out and blah, blah. Don't even fuck with that shit. Mute it. This will help you race harder. It may sound like nothing. Trust me, it's not. So with all of that said, we've got about 5 minutes before the race starts. So here's something we can also touch on. If you're helping your teammate, you just hit your cycle black box button when you're in the, say you're spotting for him. You just cycle through the black box and you can hit take cruise to seat, and then you can interact with your team in the pits. Now, if you're spotting for your team and you've got guys that are out on the track and you've got guys who are watching the car, you can click on your name down here and go up to the top. Now, focus on crashes is going to try and predict where accidents are going to happen. I always recommend having someone watching this because it's going to help you call stuff that's happening out of range, which will, trust me, help you a lot more than you think it wouldn't. You think, oh, my crew chief is going to call it. Sometimes he calls it right as it's happening, as you're coming up on it. It's good to have multiple human spotters backing the driver up. And obviously, this is in endurance racing and team racing, but trust me, it really helps. And we've learned the hard way that it's worth doing if you're really wanting a good finish and a good result in your races. It really helps bring the team together as well. So that's definitely a tip I would include. It may not seem like a lot, but believe me, it helps. So that's pretty much everything. I would definitely say to go back and watch so you can understand how to properly configure the sim up to the point of getting in the car. Obviously, it's preference if you want to have the wheel on graphics-wise or not. I prefer to have it off because I've got a wheel in my hand, and another wheel is going to distract me. I know some people like having it on, but you can turn that off in graphics. So me, I prefer having it off. So let's get out there and get a bit more practice before the race starts here. Another important thing to practice is your pit entrance and exit. See, same thing works in fourth. I don't have to be in seventh. The gear that you are in is what matters the most. And another thing you really want to try to do with your foot is get a muscle memory point down of where you brake. And then eventually it will become second nature. And that's where your foot is always going to go to. And it's called threshold braking. And it's very important to master if you're racing prototypes or hypercars. So since the race is about to start in 2 minutes, we'll show a pit entrance here. This is how you'd want to enter the pits, and this is something you want to practice against the AI. Every pit entrance, you're going to want to come in as fast as you can. Get the pit limiter on and come in. You want to bring it in as hot as you can. But don't ever cross that line speeding or you're going to cost your team a stop and go. So it's why it's very important to practice getting in and out of the pits quickly. The race is going to be starting in about 2 minutes. And then we're going to move on to the next phase, which is going to be talking about how to approach a race. The mindset, where to make moves, how to spot moves, all that kind of stuff. So we got our pit limiter on. We gun it. Now here, when you're in a race, you're going to have someone on Team LRG always watching your pit exit to make sure you're clear. But when you're on your own, always watch your mirror. Always make sure you're clear coming out of the pits. Because sometimes guys like myself, I will always cut in there if I don't see a car coming out. Cold tires a little too hard. You can see you're going to lock the car up. Regardless of braking technique, you always want to take it a little easier on cold tires. Short shifting is good also to help not get into a high RPM and spin the tires. If you feel like the car is about to slide a bit in the rear, shift up. It'll help. I think the race is about to start.
got a slow car on the right.
All right. Let's get ourselves off the track here. Let's go up here. What's over here? What's over here? Is there McDonald's over here? Okay.
Cut the course. You'll have to slow down and give up the time gained.
I might have done that. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna go grab my coffee. I'll be right back. All right, we back. Coffee in hand. Okay. So we're in a fixed series race. If we were not in a fixed series race, this is where we would want to load in our quali setup or our race setup. Before the race, I always, if I'm in a mixed class or not, I like to look at this and see how many cars we got on the grid and start planning where I'd like to finish at least. So we got 12, looks like maybe 12 to 14 LMP2s, and then a moderate number of GT3s as well. Fairly even across, though, the board. There isn't a ton of one more so than the other. The GTs are always going to be the highest number, but it's not like way higher. So it's a pretty evenly split grid here. So we're going to just start with our quali, and we're going to start talking you guys through how we like to approach this. So when you're starting out in iRacing, or like me with an A license, or I guess anyone wanting to license up and maintain a high safety rating, this is a really good tip for you guys. So what you're going to want to do is use up all of quali right from the start to the very end of the session, because it's how iRacing works. Is it calculates your safety rating on an incident per corner basis. So if you do more clean laps, that's more clean corners without incidents, so you gain more. And it calculates until the very end of qualifier, and it also calculates until the very end of the race session. So you want to use up all the time. This will help you get more safety rating. So now what Phil taught me with qualifying is essentially how I drill myself to qualify. So this off lap, we're going to want to just kind of build up tire temp, more so than just run a normal lap. What I used to do was just run a normal lap. That won't really heat your tires as much. So you want to do some things to kind of help your tires come to temp before your 2 flying laps. You don't get a qualifying session in iRacing. You get 2 flying laps, unless certain special events sometimes do it. So try to extend nice big swooping moves at fairly decent speeds, and this is going to help us build up tire temp. You can't go too slow or it'll stop. We'll say like the stewards didn't like the way you were driving or something. Nice big swooping movements on the wheel. Load the tires up with pressure, get them nice and warm. And now how we approach this is our first quali. We're going to call our first quali a banker lap. Now we're going to go out there and just get it in the bank, which means we're going to kind of just make sure we get a qualifier without invalidating the lap.
Green flag. Okay.
Because then we have that lap to fall back on. Since you only get 2 laps, we need 1 at least to stick. So we always make this first lap the banker lap. And the faster you get, the better your banker laps will become. So it shouldn't be a terrible banker lap, but we're going to kick it up on the second lap because now we've got this one to fall back on. So if we invalidate our second lap, it's not the end of the world now.
One more lap. 36.801.
Should be looking at a better lap here. Let's make sure we finish strong.
All right, there's checkered flag.
Now we stay out when we keep using all of quali. Because not only is this going to make sure we get the most safety rating possible, it's going to make sure I'm as warmed up as possible before the race. Now, if you guys watch what I'm doing here, this is essentially what the racing line is and how Phil taught me. So it's essentially outside, inside, inside, outside, and you repeat that. And you're going to find the racing line an optimal line on any track by doing that. It's just simple physics and kind of geometry of lining yourself up. So that's why you'll notice guys going really far from one side to the other, swooping. Should be... I've got another minute till quali is over. Sitting in 8th right now with a 135.6. Wasn't the best quali, but I don't do as good in this fixed setup as I do in our own setups. So if you've been watching and seeing what I'm doing, it's outside, inside, inside, outside, and you just repeat that. The better you do it, the faster you'll get, and that's essentially the optimal racing line on like every track. It's just about figuring out the gears to be in to do it, the braking spots to pull it off, all of that. But this is what I mean by anyone can be fast. Anyone can be an alien. All an alien is someone that thinks. Someone who's like, well, what if I back up my braking marker here so I get a better exit here? What if I gear down just till 4th here and then do the rest of my gearing here? It's about looking for time. And if you can have that analytical approach, that critical thinking kind of thoughtful approach to racing, then you're already an alien. You're just not fast as others yet. So that's how you got to think about it.
1 to go, next time by. Line up on the right side. The estimated SOF is 1,991. Closed. Pit road is closed.
A 1991 SOF.
Be smart and get a good finish.
Not super low, not super high, but should be a good race. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys tune in this weekend. Hit that notification, whether you're on X, whether you're on YouTube, hit that notification so you do not miss our Daytona 24-hour stream. It's going to be a good one, boys. We're coming for the win. We should have won last week's. We almost won last year's 24-hour, the non-official. And this one, we're definitely going to get it. "37 seconds until kickoff time." Glove up, boys. Time to get them gloves on. Make sure you check out our sponsor, SRP-PRO. Best pedals, best peripherals, and all of sim racing. Use our code LEGACY. It will get you 5% off anything on their website. Gloves, peripherals, pedals. Check out our sponsor, Moza. Links in the description. MindLab Pro, best nootropic ever. If you want to race like Phil and I and the rest of our team, big brain boys, get yourself some MindLab Pro. All right, here we go, everyone. So right away, we're going to start looking at people and watching their behavior. We're going to look for people that are flying up on bumpers, zigzagging all over the place for no reason, like not tire warming. See, right away, we're seeing that these guys are starting to go single file so we can warm our tires. So we know that these guys have done this before. They understand a formation lap and how to warm tires. You don't always want to just start zigzagging around and assume everyone is going to go into formation single, because not everyone does. So right away you can kind of see who knows these things, who doesn't, who's impatient, who isn't, who's trying to copy, and you can start to already build psychological profiles off of that. Now, we're not going to have as much time to heat our tires here because not everyone is going single file. People are just trying to warm their tires right beside each other, and it doesn't work that way very well because you really need to be going basically lock to lock or long swoops. So we want to watch for that pace car to go off and then make sure we don't get caught. You always want to make sure you're staying right with them. But sometimes guys will try to brake check you, or they don't want to get a good run like that. They want everyone to be equal. You got to basically, oh my God, be ready for whatever anyone is going to do.
Car on your left.
Just like that.
Still there, hold your line. Clear.
That's some SRP pedal stuff right there. And not gearing down in panic.
Stay on the right.
So first lap, we want to settle into a rhythm. We want to use the first few laps to just get ourselves into a rhythm. Get consistent. While we're doing this, we can start looking at the other drivers around us and seeing what they're all about. If anyone gives you an obvious move, go for it. But you don't need to force anything right now. Stay with the pack. Put pressure on the guys in front of you from behind by just being consistently in their mirror. Now see, I've got my mirror FOV my mirror FOV set right, so I can judge the distance of the cars behind me properly. I've got my FOV in front in general set properly, so I was able to avoid hitting that car. All of these things are critical if you want to have that experience where you can avoid things and not get run into from behind because you're misjudging distance.
Car on the left.
This guy blew the bus stop, so we got a run on him. We got his draft. I'm not in a real rush to force a move on him yet. We can already see he's making a mistake, potentially from the pressure of us being behind him. We can see him swerving like he's watching his mirror.
45.527.
So we know if we just keep pressure up on this guy, we can likely open up a pass rather than having to force it. Bring yourself in on the cars as close as possible before gearing down. Now we can hang with these guys and see who's consistent, who's here to race, who's got a couple laps in him, who's consistent. You never want to be battling too early. Battling slows you down, so it's best to work a gap behind you before you start engaging with cars. You battle too soon, you're going to allow everyone to catch up to you, and then you just got a big cluttered mess around you.
Car ahead.
Oh, this guy wrecked, so we got to watch out. He's rejoining.
Car on your left.
This guy behind has got a good run, so we have to be cognizant of that. See that little gap we got? We can see him through the window on the left side.
Left side. Keep to the right. Clear on the left.
So now we're just going to settle into a rhythm, and we're going to just try to continue to pressure the guys that are in front of us and also behind us by pushing and making them work to keep up with us. You don't have to be behind someone or fake dive bombing them to pressure them. You can pressure them by being in their mirror consistently. You can pressure them by running from them and make them have to catch you. What's up, not a bot? How's it going, brother? Covered a lot of important stuff already, so make sure you rewatch the stream from the start. All the important stuff is at the very beginning. This guy in front of us is not doing so hot here, and he's allowing cars to catch up to us, so we need to try to work a way around this guy eventually here.
The car in P1 just set the fastest lap. 34.071. Left side, 36.328. New fastest lap for you. Still there. Clear. Car right.
Oh, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Where did that come from? Not sure what just happened. Luckily, the car doesn't seem to be damaged. Have to watch that back and see what just happened.
Right side. Clear.
Oh, wow. Someone just rammed me out of their way. That was ridiculous. I just watched that back on stream. That's a report. So when something like that happens, the best thing you can do is mentally reset. Just go about your business. There's nothing you can do in control about that situation until after the race.
Just set the fastest lap. 34.035.
That dude just literally wrecked us into last place.
43.1.
And this is A license, almost 2,000 SOF. We're definitely faster than this guy ahead of us, so we'll get him back. Oh shit, this car's damaged. Ah, damn it. Fuck. I didn't realize it was as damaged as it was. We only got that 2X. And they never said anything about damage. But it just is not fucking drivable. We're gonna have to pit. Okay, so we don't want to drive on the track right now. We can just ride it down here to the pits, so we don't have to tow. Any amount of time that we can cut back by not towing the car is beneficial here.
You'll have to slow down and give up the time game. That aero damage is probably slowing you a lot.
I figured the car was damaged from getting hit. Like, I figured it was, but they said nothing about damage. And then as soon as I go into that bus stop, it was like, okay, car's damaged.
5, 3, 2, 1. Right here.
So let's see what happened there. How the fuck did that guy run into us that hard and then just continue to bulldoze through us? Okay, so it would have been like last lap, I think. I think it was this lap. Okay. I got back my cockpit up here so I can see. So it is this guy here. No. Robert Nishke. Okay, so let's see what this guy does here. Dude, he literally drove into me on purpose there. What the fuck was that? Look, he literally pitted me on purpose. And this is 2000 SOF. This is 2000 fucking SOF. A license event. The highest event you can do in iRacing that people are like, oh, once I get to A, it's going to all be bet. No. Because iRacing has to fix this first. He literally intentionally takes me out here. Watch. Oh, gonna take this guy out. I don't know how that caused damage to my car. But as soon as we hit the bus stop, the car was just gone. A 10-minute meatball. Yeah, this race is over. This is the problem with this game too. Like, no matter how long you prep, no matter how hard you try to set the sim up, no matter how much money you spend on equipment, one person is going to ruin it. And it's always that one person that ruins it, or a couple of them, generally just one. Today it was this guy who just decided he was going to pit us, I guess, instead of like actually try to race us. So let's go and see what else kind of chaos this guy's caused. Are we on live right now? No, we're on playback. So since we're stuck waiting for 10 minutes, let's see what else this dickbag has done. That's why I didn't have any idea what happened there, because I knew I was clear. The guy literally intentionally quarter paneled us. Like, when you can do that like brazenly in this game, there's something that has to change. Because people who spend, like this guy's got liveries, cars, he's A licensed. Like, these are people who are spending a lot of money on the game with absolutely no fear of losing connection to that account or content they've purchased. To me, I'm terrified if I ever did something, I'd lose my account. Like, I don't want to lose my account. This shit costs a lot of money. So when I see stuff like this, it's like, why is this person not afraid to lose their account? There's a kind of disconnect in feeling like there's some kind of repercussion to stop people from behaving this way. So this guy's in 9th place, running like 36s, like drastically slower than us. But just decided to quarter panel us and take us out. Like, I don't understand it at all. So that's something you're going to want to report, and that we're going to be reporting for sure. Once this race is over, someone like this, I will also go through the entire race and watch for anything else they have done. So we probably got about another 6 minutes, probably minimum, on the car. Yeah, I don't know how we took damage from that tapping, but as soon as we entered that bus stop, car was just not, it was just gone. I'm wondering if it was the pushing more than it was the hit, because he just bulldozed us and the car slid sideways for like ever. But as soon as we hit the bus stop, the car just had nothing. It was like the wing wasn't even there, but we had a wing. Like, this guy's slow as shit in 8th place, but he completely takes us out of our race and ability to compete and potentially finish in a good spot. And this is the part where it's like iRacing and sim racing, no matter what you do, It's these people that
20
ruin
minutes
it.
to go.
And it's got to be fixed. It has to be, because no matter the prep, the coaching, the money spent, the time invested, it shouldn't be ruined by people who just don't give a fuck if they take someone out intentionally or not. Like, you can see he understands how to not hit cars. This is not someone who's out of control and making mistakes by accident. This guy clearly understands how to not contact another car. For some reason, he hasn't done it on these other ones. He just drove right up on us and literally turned into us intentionally to get us out of his way. Let's see how long we got left here. Another 5 minutes. And then a minute optional, which is probably going to be a required. Like, did someone else take this guy out? And then he thought we were the person who took him out? Because he clearly knows how to not hit cars. But at the same time, he clearly intentionally quarter paneled us. And I didn't do shit to this guy. So, I'm not sure what happened there. Unless, what, he just gives himself, like, one intentional wreck a race and knows he can get away with it because most people don't report. But yeah, that was, like, clearly obvious. Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, get him in the Discord. Tell Phil or Chris to get him in the Discord so he can start asking questions and learning from the drivers on the team. Bring him in right away. Even if he doesn't like endurance, we can help him learn. So I'm going to have to go back and watch this race after stream and see if this guy got, like, smashed out of the way or pushed out of the way or wronged in some way. Because I'm really not seeing some... Oh my god, that was ridiculous. Like... What is wrong with these people, dude? This is 2,000 SOF, everyone. 2,000 strength of field, okay? Oh, Pedro Nicolas, a Brazilian. Like, just obliterates that guy. Doesn't try to avoid him. Like, what was that, dude? That's what I mean. You can't just do that shit, dude. Like, literally just smashes his way through this dude. You gotta lift up. Like, if someone's cutting in front of you, don't just smash through them. Like, if you're gonna have contact, try to minimize the contact. Don't try to just obliterate the fucking person. Oh, this will get good now. See how long we got here. Minute 50. But this is what I mean, like, iRacing and sim racing in general has to approach this differently. It has to be, it can't be like a generic safety rating approach. It can't be a badge system. You have to build either an AI algorithm or bring in a psychologist who can help build a baseline psychological profile of the people who are causing incidents in your game. And then you can speed up the process at which you remove them when you know exactly the psychological makeup of a person and what they're going to do on repeat in your game. So instead of just slapping people on the wrist who then come back and repeat these things and start to learn like they're never going to get in any kind of trouble, and then they repeat it that much more, instead of ever having that happen, you build that psychological profile early on based off very easy identifiable markers. And then when that happens, you don't have to wait for the third or fourth or fifth incident. The person's gone right away for like a 6 month. Second time, gone permanently. And you could speed up the process at which you remove these people. And I think if anything is proof that if sim racing was taken more seriously, you could get a lot more people to come into it and spend money on it. Look at what we do as a team. We get a lot of people interested in this who otherwise wouldn't be. And you could amplify that 1,000-fold. But because I don't think it's... I wonder if it's less greed than more or less them just not knowing what the hell to do or how to begin to approach the problem, so they just hope it's going to fix itself and bury their head in the sand. Otherwise, I don't know.
Go, go, go!
Let's let this guy go ahead. He's already on the lead lap. Ooh, that minute of optionals. This is why I hate iRacing's repair system. They say the damage is optional. I can feel it bad.
Left side. Clear on the left.
I mean, I had a 38-minute optional once and a 2-minute repair required, and the car was still smashed and hanging apart. Let's just be careful here, because I don't know what this 1-minute optional is.
Car 28 has taken the lead.
All we can really do here is file the report and move on to the next race, and that's all you can ever do. Don't ever engage with these people or start chatting or arguing with them, because all it does is get you in trouble. You'll get chat banned. It doesn't ever help the situation. All that does help the situation is remember that most people in iRacing have given up on reporting. So a lot of these people don't expect to be reported. Report them, and iRacing will act on it 9 times out of 10. Sometimes their report system and their reporting team, their protest team, is absolute garbage sometimes. And they will think things that aren't intentional they will think things that are intentional, they will say it's not intentional. And this is because they don't really look beyond the incident itself into the behavior of the person or the lead up to the incident. They don't look at context. And that's part of what I mean. You can't not do that. You have to bring in the psychological factor of these people, or you're just going to end up wasting so much time on people who wouldn't otherwise be involved in motorsport in real life because they're not all there mentally. They can't understand how to be a good sport, and they would be a danger to everyone on the track every single race they were in. And if you apply that same methodology to sim racing, you clean it up in no time.
10 minutes to go. Look for opportunity. .535.
Always lead with the car. Let it be your voice when you're trying to get around guys. It really helps them understand if they can see where you're trying to go in advance. Few more laps and then we're on to the next one.
37.596.
Oh, the damage is causing so much understeer. And that's the other thing about the repairing and iRacing I don't like is like a lot of these, if you watch these series in real life and you see one of these cars take a wreck, a lot of the time, the body parts are just right there. They just bring it in the pit, slap on a new hood, and it's off. You're good to go. Le Mans incorporates this very well. The damage system in Le Mans is incredibly realistic. I really like the way it works where you can't tow to the pits, but the repair times are more realistic. So it's a good trade-off of realism for realism. Where in iRacing, you can tow the car to the pit, and you can repair. You can do both. But your repair times take so freaking long that it's unrealistic. Like for a bent bumper or a missing wing, it's like a 7-minute repair. It's like, no, man, it's nothing like that.
Car on your left. Clear on the left. .139.
Should be about 3, maybe 4 laps.
The leader is running 35.886.
Understeer is definitely slowing us down. But it is what it is. We ain't getting out of 12th, that's for sure. If the game had communicated to me that we had damage, I would have loved that.
6.49.
Because I wouldn't have roasted it into the bus stop so hard. It has never done that before, where it hasn't communicated to me that there was damage, but then when I go to make a corner like I would normally make it, the car just shits the bed and it's clearly damaged. What are you doing, dude? Never be like that.
Right side.
Don't ever be that indecisive car.
Right.
Go where you're gonna go and stay there. That's how you cause massive fucking accidents.
Car right. Clear. .075. Left side. Clear.
Should be the white flag next lap, maybe this lap. We'll see.
Left side. Clear.
I think it's white flag. No, I think it's next lap white flag.
36.917. There's an incident ahead. Slow car ahead.
Oh, that wall claims another victim. That was me in the LMP3 the other day. Happens to the best of us, bruh.
Car right. Clear.
This next one will be the last lap for sure.
White flag. Stay smooth. 36.915. Car on your left. Clear.
So now if I ever have any contact, I'm going to baby the car for a lap or two until I'm sure the thing doesn't have damage. That's the only real positive we can take away from here, and the fact we are having a good start. Other than that, guys, definitely going to get banned for at least 3 weeks, because that was 100% intentional. You can literally see him turn into my quarter panel when he didn't need to do it. So it's kind of the definition of intentional wrecking.
There's the flag. It's over.
Ugh.
Okay, we'll get him next time.
Yeah, we'll get him next time, Jim, there, boy. You know, we can do so much better. Well, if we don't get fucking intentionally wrecked. And the guy who takes us out gets 4th, which is where we would have finished. That's got to be actionable, 100%. And I hope that Ferrari does, too, the guy that just ran through the person in the Ferrari. All right, well, on to the next one. Let's see when the next race starts. Get into it, shake it off. Move on to the next. That's all you can do when stuff like that happens. Like with me, it's like I don't even worry if I lose iRating anymore because I know I can get it back. Like, that's not a problem. My problem, I more or less have the problem with, is the behavior going unchecked. I feel like that needs to be addressed. Because eventually it does get annoying. And I mean, for people who can't race all the time, it's hard because maybe you have a good race where you gain quite a bit of iRating. And then all of a sudden you have a bad one and it erases all of that. And let's say people who can't race very much, that's going to impact them a lot differently. Because maybe they have a good race and get like 90 iRating, and that's a lot to them. And then all of a sudden they lose it and it's gone and they don't have much time to race again. It's hard to get it back. It's like, I think iRacing has a little bit of a disconnect there where they need to realize that these people who do these things and then gain from it, if they're not like, if the whole venture isn't being made to them not worth it and very obviously not worth it, it's hard to disincentivize these people to not do these sorts of things. And that's, again, why I think it has to come down to kind of a behavioral marker kind of approach. I'm just going to get my next smoke before we begin the next race here. We're going to make it all back. Right, dude? Legitimately. That's what I'm talking about right there. iRacing, hire me and my dad, and we will psychologically profile these little dudes all day long. All day long. And I'll even racial profile if you guys want me to. I'll bring that back. I mean, it's probably not something you guys want, but I'm just saying, like, I'll bring it back. I will. I can. Let me put it that way. I can bring it back. So let's do a little bit of promotional here for the boys. Well, I mean, if you didn't see what just happened, Dad, we just got intentionally wrecked hard. And the reason why I'm talking about the psychological profiling and everything is because it happened at 2,000 strength of field with an A license. So it's like, it's not about like, it's not about, are these people new? Do they not understand this? Are they unable to control their car? Like, it's not about that at this level. It's very obvious when it's intentional, when it's not. Racial profiling. Oh my freaking God, I love it. I absolutely love it. That should be our new team. That should be our literal new team name. Racial profiling. Oh my God, dude, you need to message Phil right fucking now. Emergency message Phil. Be like, motherfucking Phil. Dude, this is the new team name. RSP. Racial profiling.
They're showing us the black flag. Too fast on pit road.
Oh, I came out a little too quickly. That racial profiling just got me going there. A little too excited. It happens, man. That's why you gotta just even the experienced ones in us. We gotta make sure we don't screw up like that, man. You gotta have that pit limiter on right to the end. Profiling them racial shills and shit. Ratio shills. That's the best thing ever. We need to seriously make that a new division of LRG. RSP.
Right side. Car 16. Just set the fastest lap. 34.74. Clear. Car on your left. Clear.
Come on, cold tires. Turn, baby, turn. Phil, we've come up. Oh, damn. I got to park the car here for a sec. Phil, we came up with a new division of LRG, dude. It just kind of happened. So we need to come up with a new team for LRG, and it's going to be called Race, like Race, Shill, Profiling, RSP. Racial profiling. My dad typed it in chat so you can see what it looks like. And then we need like our like penguin guy to have blackface or something. All right, time to race and profile. And when you do it at the same time, it's racial profiling. The LRG way, baby. Profile my race car here. Oh my God, that would be so perfect. Uncle Ben with a racing helmet on. Oh my God, dude. Instead of our penguin, it would be Uncle Ben with a racing helmet on. I think that's got to be it. We got to get that going, man. I think that's going to have to be like our, I think that could be like even like a top tier squad, like the Burr squad, the racial profile squad. Those boys probably come hard and heavy, dude. They don't fuck around. I don't think they fuck around, at least. I really don't believe so. I don't believe it to be true. Okay, so we would have had a third place. But I crashed before stream. Would have had a good maybe fifth or fourth. Got intentionally wrecked. So that's where we're at right now. But the whole start of the stream was very important stuff. How to set up the sim properly. Best ways to gain the most competitive experience out of it. How to be able to judge your distance properly by setting your FOV correctly. All of that stuff was covered in the start. So make sure you go back and watch it. Changing name of LRG Black Team. Oh my god, yes. Yes, dude. It fits. It just fits perfect right there. LRG Black is now racial profiling. I fucking love it. It's why when you watch LRG, you get a different kind of experience watching these boys here. We have fun. We know how to have fun. When you watch us, you have fun, and you also will know how to have fun. Okay, let's see what kind of grid ski we got here. Uncle Ben livery, right? Oh my god. Okay, so right away, this is another thing we like to do, and it's part of LRG racial profiling. So we look at, we've got a Puerto Rican, 1, 2 Brazilians, and Colombian. So this means, like, we got to be careful. And then we got some U.S. little dudes. So these are likely little kid dudes. So we want to be careful of them. There's a few little dudes in here. And then this Antarctica guy is likely working for Hitler. He's probably part of the Nazi Bell Project. So I don't know. He might be good. Scottish guy might be drunk. English guy might be angry all the time. So racial profile the people within your race, and it's going to help you have a better time. But not in the racist way. In the racial way. You gotta make sure you're right there, or you might be like lynched. So make sure you're doing it right. Oh my god, not a bot. Yes, please. Oh my god, that has to happen. Someone has to fucking message Brian, our livery guy, right now before they don't forget this. Message Brian right now so you don't forget this shit, dude. It will be fucking perfect. All right, let's get a quali out here. So now we're in a non-fixed setup race. We can begin to talk about other things like ARB. So what ARB does, whether you are in a hypercar or an LMP2 or a GT, it doesn't matter. It all works the same way. The only difference is you can change your ARB in hypercars. So softer ARB is going to allow more suspension travel. When you have more suspension travel, you're going to, by nature, have more mechanical pressure on the tires, which will therefore give you more mechanical grip early. This will help you early on. A softer ARB will help you early on because it's going to activate the tires sooner by putting more pressure on them, hence more mechanical grip. The problem is, if you don't forget to harden your ARB, over lap after lap after lap, you can put too much load on your tires by having soft ARB and therefore go outside of your optimal operational window of your tires. So what you want to do in a hypercar is, as you start getting your tires up to temp and they start gripping, you want to start hardening your ARB. The reason you do this is because it's going to cut down on aerodynamic disruption because your suspension, your car isn't moving as much. Therefore, you're going to start to gain a lot more speed out of the car, a lot more lap time. But you have to time it right, and it takes some serious practice. Because too soft or too hard of an ARB too soon or too late will either cause you to spin, slide because your suspension's too hard, your tires haven't gripped up yet. Or if you run too soft for too long, you're going to be overloading your tires. Now, I'm not going to give away exactly what numbers we use and when we use them. I'm just going to say it's something you want to work on and definitely practice. You want to definitely go soft early and harder later as the race progresses and your tires come into temperature. That's the only information I'm going to give. I don't want to give out too much of our secrets. We definitely have to make that happen, dude. That's going to be the best squad ever. So we're going to get our safe banker lap in here. And now we're going to push for our second.
One more lap. 37.371.
Should be a decent push lap. Our banker was definitely slow. Slower than I would have liked it.
You've got about 2 laps of fuel. There's the flag. It's over.
Now let's make sure we use up the rest of the session so we gain as much safety rating as possible and get in our rhythm. Remember, it doesn't count any lap after your first 2 laps, but this is just so we can get as much safety rating as possible here. And again, make sure we're warmed up and ready to go. Hey, Trigger's out here on Trigger Cam. What's up, Trigger Cam? Drop down to 7th. Not the end of the world. Should have had a better quali. Should have hit a 34. Just didn't do it. Didn't find it in me to do it. What can you say? Thank you, guys. We got 1,200 people viewing on X. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Almost 1,300. I know we haven't been live much lately, but thank you, guys. We're back now, and we're back full time. So now let's make sure we load in our race setup. We don't want to go out on quali fuel. That would be bad.
One lap to green. Line up on the left side. The estimated SOF is...
It's 1882.
82. Pit road is closed. A lot of opportunities today. Head down. Pick your battle.
All right, here we go. Let's hope we have a good race this time. Well, we were having a good race. Every race has been good. We just got kind of intentionally wrecked a little bit.
5 cars left to grid. Still waiting on 2 cars to grid.
Oh, Trigger's looking at me. He's like, "You asshole. This is going to be your last race." Then we walk it.
On the final car to grid.
All right, then, Trigger. We better make it count. I best make it count. We got Trigger Man watching now. Trigger Man from Afghanistan. So again, let's watch, see if anyone starts to go single file. We're in an even lower SOF because of what happened in that last race. So again, let's see if everyone is starting to go single file here or if people don't understand how to do it. What is this guy doing? He's almost got his run into. Oh my god. Dude, you gotta go a little faster. Holy shit.
XR20 car.
What is this idiot doing? These people are just out to lunch. Once you hit about 1800 SOF, it's like you start getting into retard territory. I've dropped down from 2100 because of, before I got my new computer, having tons of connectivity issues. And then about 3 intentional wrecks. From 2100 down to 1800.
Stay focused. Pace car is off. Green, green, green.
Look to settle into a rhythm here. Oh my god, there's that car up there who intentionally wrecked us and he's already bouncing off the fucking wall.
Left side.
And that guy just took him out.
Still there. Go right. Clear.
That guy just avenged us without even knowing he avenged us. Karma, bitches. Now let's focus and have ourselves a good race.
Right side. 43.798. Still there, hold your line. You're in 4th position. Car right.
Let's let these idiots just
On the
go.
left. Clear on the right. Right side. Still there. Clear.
See if we make some better decisions this race also.
There's an incident behind.
All right, decent first couple laps. Wish we didn't have to give up those spots, but those guys got a wicked exit and good draft on us.
Fueling up now should get us to the finish.
Yeah, I don't think so, Jim.
.281.
We got some fast boys in here.
You got a slow car on the right. Car stopped ahead. Go right. Car on your left. Still there. Clear. .36.026. That was your fastest lap of the session.
Good first 4 laps, at least been clean.
You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 1.3 seconds. 35.718. That was your fastest lap of the session. The car in P3 just set the fastest lap. 34.537.
This is crazy. Like, all 7 of us are in a chain here with about a second between all of us. This is usually the stuff you see in Le Mans Ultimate. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm 7. Holy shit.
34.981. New fastest lap for you. The car in P3 just set the fastest lap. 34.309.
Hit a 34.9 race pace on our last lap, so that's good. Oh shit, we're coming up on traffic already.
Car on your left. Clear on the left. The leader just did a 35.212. You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 3.1 seconds. 35.742. Car 21 has taken the lead.
Traffic time.
Car stopped ahead. Slow car ahead. Go right.
Holy
Right
shit.
side. Still there, hold your line. Clear.
Looks like an LMP2 got collected with a GT3. Not sure what happened there.
Go left. Left side. Clear.
Cost us some time making sure we got through all that clean.
.925. Car 4 has taken the lead. Left side. Clear.
That's a rejoin and a half right there.
Car on your left. Clear. Car on your left. Clear.
Let's make sure we're making these moves smart and safe.
Left side. Clear on the left. Car on your left. 36.208. Clear on the left.
Not close enough. If he's going to give it to us.
Left
Oh,
side.
and then he
Clear
cuts
on
back
the
in.
left. Car on your left. Clear. Car on your left. Stay on the right. Clear. Car right. Clear. Left side. Clear. Left side. Clear on the left. Car on your left. Clear.
We're going to take it, I think, right to 18 minutes and then pit. No tires, just fuel.
You're losing on the car in front. The gap is 4.4 seconds. 37.267.
Mm. 29 minutes.
Car on your left. Clear. Left side. Clear on the left.
Got some good timing where we should be able to overtake all these.
Left side. Clear on the left. Left side. Clear. 35.588.
We're only 5 seconds off the car ahead, so if they make a mistake, or if we can keep that gap until we pit and undercut them, we can take that spot. We got 7 in the tank still.
.943. You've just set your fastest lap of the session.
Catching some LMPs, it looks like.
Car on your left. Clear on the left.
That's 5th and 4th right there.
.971. 35.096.
Where are you going, dude? I love these floaty floatersons.
Right side.
Never do that as a
You're on the
GT3 or any kind of traffic. The worst thing you can do.
The car in P3. Just set the fastest lap. 34.207. 35.068. You got about 5 laps of fuel left.
I'm thinking we pit soon, maybe? At the 20-minute mark?
.988. Car 21 is up the front.
Whoa, Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Clear on the left.
Holy shit.
Car right. Clear on the right.
Scott Horsley. Little kid. No idea what he is doing in a motor vehicle.
Car right. Clear. The car in front is pitting. Car on your left.
Jesus
Car on the right.
fuck, man.
Clear on the left.
Some of these people really need to fucking learn endurance racing before they think they can just come online and do it.
The car behind you.
Like, they don't understand at all where to be, when to be there, how to drive, what to look for. They just go, ooh, sim racing. And it's always the people floating at the back of the pack.
Minutes to go. Left side. The car in front is pitting. Clear on the left. .323. You're back in fourth position. The car behind is pitting. You've got about 2 laps of fuel. Right side. Stay on the left. Clear.
I think we got enough for one more lap here.
The lead is pitting now. The car in front is pitting. .442. You're in second position right now. The car behind is pitting. You have about 1 lap of fuel left. Car right. Clear. Car right. Clear on the right.
All right, coming in the pits.
Left side. Clear. Car on your left. Don't forget to pit this lap for more fuel. Clear on the left.
All right, let's see how this pit strategy works.
Pit box in 10, 5. You're in first. 3, 1. Right here.
Come on, man. Let's go, man. Let's go, man.
Move it, move it.
I like to move it, move it. We like to move it, move it. Man, the music you could drop ecstasy to back in the day is so much better than the music you can drop ecstasy to nowadays. It's just crazy, dude. The kids just don't know what they missed. I gotta download that now. I like to move it, move it. That was the shit, bro.
Car on your left. Clear on the left. Left side. Clear. The leader just did a 35.163. Car 21 is now leading 9.763. Car on your left. Clear on the left. Slow car ahead. Car stop on the left. Left side. Clear on the left. Left side. Clear on the left.
That guy sent us in on a gay-ass angle. It only slowed us both down, but hey. That is fucking hilarious, dude. Oh my god.
Car 1 is now leading. 36.675. You're back in 4th position.
Like to move it, move it. Man, if I wasn't driving, I'd be powerballing right now, dude. That energy is just coming back. The peak is, oh, it's just raw still. Oh, this dude peeking in front of me. Holy shit.
You got a slow car on the left. Car stops on the left. Go right. The next car's the leader. The leader's pitting now. Car on your left. Clear. .017. You're back in 3rd. Keep hustling.
Out of my fucking way, man! Come on, you fucking puto!
10 minutes to go. We're in a great spot for some hardware. Clear on the left.
What the fuck you thinking, man? This fucking guy, man. All over the fucking road, man. You fucking bouncing off the wall there, man. What the fuck you doing, man? I flashed my headlights to you, man, on my way.
Left side. Clear on the left. Car right. Still there. Hold your line. Clear.
Very much Japanese Andrew. I believe in you, Japanese Andrew.
.728. Left side. Still there. Clear on the left. Car on your left. Right.
Huh?
Clear.
I believe in you.
There's an incident behind.
They just killed themselves trying to be Japanese Andrew. Not fucking everyone can be Japanese Andrew, man. What the fuck you thinking, man? I don't know if this guy likes to move it, move it. He's fucking slower than the ass.
Left side.
On the back end of a dead fucking rhino, I tell you that right now. And that's one slow ass.
37.374.
Mi casa es su casa, man. Six minutes to go. Third place should undo some of that damage. If we can hold it for the next 6.
Car on your left. Clear. .693. Right side. Clear. You've got about 5 laps of fuel. Car stopped ahead. 5 minutes to go. Left side. Clear.
I'm not sure what these dumb motherfuckers are gonna do.
Car on your left. Clear on the left. The lead is did up 34.721. Left side. Clear on the left. 37.617.
Good jams getting us going, man. .499. grind once again.
Car on your left. Stay on the right. Clear.
Is it me? I love the streets. Cause all this money, my is cash free. See the joy that this money brings when my daughter walks in and says, Daddy, we got green.
Car on your left. Clear on the left. White flag, white flag. 37.326. Car on your left. Clear on the left. You have about 2 laps of fuel left. Left side. Clear on the left.
How come I can smoke weed, be on methadone, driving with one hand, jamming to music, and I don't hit people or crash, but these little dudes can't figure this shit out? And I'm half retarded from having epilepsy and cracking my head off plate glass doors.
All right, there's checkered flag. Good job, very good job.
I think it's because everyone else is on this kind of thing right here.
Using crack and cocaine to get high, that's what you say you love. But it's really insane. You could die. What are you thinking of? 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess of your mind. Just a snort or a smoke in your greed, that's all you care about. But your life is a joke, and you need someone to help you out. 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine. There's terrible trouble behind it. And sooner or later you're burning your brain, making a mess of your mind. 'Cause nobody's needing that crack and cocaine.
I think that explains it all. Isn't that awesome? The guy who took us out last time just gets totally pud fucked. I love that kind of vengeance. And we didn't even have to touch him, so they're just push him out of our way. which is exactly what he did to us. So it's like karma, beautiful karma, the most lovely karma of all karma. Well, everyone, that was a good stream. We were a little late today getting going, but it was a good one at the end. Had some fun, got a 3rd place, recovered some of that there damage, I tell you that. Little 60. So we're back right under 1900. Tomorrow we'll put that push on to get back into the 2K range for the event this weekend. So make sure you all tune in tomorrow. We will be back our usual time, 11 a.m. PST. We won't be late like we were today. Either tomorrow or Thursday, we have Shaw coming up to put a new line on outside of our house because our previous line has been damaged by a truck almost yanking it down. When a truck drove underneath the line, it was sagging and a truck caught it. So it's been stretched a bit and we're having a little bit of issues with our line. So they're going to be either coming tomorrow to replace it or Thursday before the big event on the weekend, obviously. So if I'm not around tomorrow, you guys will know why. If I'm around tomorrow, then you know I won't be around Thursday. So take care, guys. Had a lot of fun, and I will see you all again tomorrow. I hope all the information at the beginning of this stream, I hope it helps someone. A lot of you probably already know it, but for those who don't,